Friday, I hosted an event at The Ohio State University, The Ohio State, at the Fisher College of Business. And it was all about risk-taking. And it was so meaningful. And I was so excited to share this because taking risks, man, like taking risks, being okay with rejection, being okay with any outcome, that is the secret to success. If you want to be great at life, you have to learn how to be great at taking risks, and you have to be great at rejection, of handling rejection. When I left this event, I was so inspired, first of all, and I was so impressed with the school, but I want to share this with you because I don't just want to share it with one group. I want to share it with everyone who could benefit from this because I just feel like this is so important and it's something that people don't talk about. If you want something, it's really scary because when you want something, you might not get it, right? That's how it works. Or you might get it and then you are afraid of losing it because you want to keep it, right? Or you might get it and lose it, which is devastating. But I want to tell you, when you take risks in life, and this is all risks, these are all risks. Let's say you're interested in dating someone, huge risk, right? You're romantically interested in them. If they like you, great. If not, that's pretty devastating, right? You want everyone you like to like you, but not everyone you like is going to always like you. Some people will, some people won't. And if they do like you, it's great. You have it, then you're afraid of losing the relationship because that could be pretty devastating. But most relationships don't last forever. And if they do, eventually somebody passes. I hate to be so honest, but that's what happens. Nothing is forever. So here's the reality. When you want something, you're either going to get it, not get it, or get it and lose it. I want to live forever. I can't live forever because that's not how this works. That is life. And we're so afraid of going after what we want because we're usually afraid we're going to get it, not get it, or get it and lose it. So the secret is, how could you be great at being okay with any outcome? How could you be okay with any outcome? So in order to be someone who takes risk after risk, you have to know you're going to be okay. Whether you get it, don't get it, or get it and lose it. You got it? You with me? So you have to want something. And you have to practice wanting and being okay no matter what. But the problem is, when you want something and you don't get it, it hurts. Let's take the dating, for example. Yeah, you question yourself. It hurts. Rejection causes our brains to experience real physical pain. It feels like you're getting punched. So how do you process the outcome? How do you filter through the rejection? And that is where the universal rejection truth comes into play. This is something I'm so proud of. The universal rejection truth is a law of nature that says not everyone and everything will always respond to you the way you always want. You can be the best, the brightest, the most deserving, the most attractive, the most intelligent, but you will not always get the outcome you want every single time. Some of you are used to getting the outcome you want. Some of you have waited for opportunities to come to you, so you're not that experienced. Valedictorians, high achievers, you're especially vulnerable. First generation students who don't always have as much support, and people who have been there and done it, and having people in their corner, very vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. The universal rejection truth is one of the most important laws of nature. I think it's the most important in my life because the universal rejection truth gives me permission to take risks and to not always blame myself, to not feel like I'm not enough. Because the universal rejection truth says, Harlan, if you take a risk and you don't get what you want, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone or something else, or it's the universal rejection truth. Let's just say I'm approaching a woman who's 6 feet tall and I'm married and I'm not going to be approaching any 6 feet tall women, but I'm 5'6" maybe, and someone who's much taller might not be interested in me because I'm shorter. You know, this person might be interested and I can give it a try. I dated someone who was taller than me and it hurt my calves because I had to step on my tippy toes to kiss her. But if someone doesn't like me because I'm not tall enough and I'll never be tall enough, that's the universal rejection truth. It's just called raw rejection. But without knowledge of the universal rejection truth, we tend to get really upset. We take things so personally. We tend to blame ourselves or other people. Once you can embrace the universal rejection truth, you could recognize that you can be the best, the brightest, the most deserving, and not everyone's going to always give you what you want. Not everyone will always give you what you want. So if you apply that to growth mindset, this idea that if you don't get the outcome you want, you need to take the risk again. You add the word yet to an outcome. I haven't gotten the grade I want yet. I didn't get the date I want yet. The problem with growth mindset is it hurts to take the risk a second and third time. But when you understand the universal rejection truth and incorporate the universal rejection truth into your life, when you don't get what you want, you now have something to work with. When you don't get what you want, you have data. And then you filter it through this process. Is it me? Is it someone or something else? Or is it the universal rejection truth? So during this workshop, I helped people to dream and believe and recognize that when they're making it happen, things are going to get difficult. We're not always going to get what we want. And once you can recognize this and embrace it, and this is so much of business, but this is life. When you don't get what you want, instead of getting upset, you get curious. Say, is it me? Is it someone or something else? Or is it the universal rejection truth? You turn to people who can help you and support you and guide you. You put yourself in places where you can find support, where you can be around people who want you to be successful, where you can learn, where you can experience and experiment. And you do this again and again, and you have to be patient. And this is the formula. This is the formula. This is actually the Win or Learn framework in my book, Win or Learn. So what do you want? What makes you uncomfortable? Being really okay with any possible outcome. Then you turn to your people, you put yourself in places where you can get help, you're patient, and then you tell the story in your brain. You go to a happy place. Whenever I do an event, I think about the end of the event, and I tell the story of the event, how great everything went, and I get into detail. And when I take a risk that scares me, instead of being scared, I get excited, and I tell the story. Whether it's talking to a professor for you, whether it's talking to a roommate, talking to your parent, asking someone on a date, you tell the story of the day, of the week, of the conversation. So I do this, I tell the story, and it frees me up. Because instead of constantly playing the worst case scenario, I play the best case. And then I take a risk. And I celebrate. Because no matter what, it's a success. If you take a risk and you do something that aligns with your heart, and you say something and you express it, that's a win. And if you get the response you want, great. If you get the outcome you want, great. If not, great. It's great because you have something to work with. Because now you could say, is it me? Is it someone or something else? Or is it the universal rejection truth? Or a combination of them? Life is a long journey. And there are times where you're going to get what you want, and there are times where you will not get what you want. But in order to live a life where you can dream, believe, and consistently take action to make it happen, you need to be great at rejection. You need to embrace this universal rejection truth. And that's why I want to share this with you, because I don't just want the Fisher College of Business students to know this. I want everyone to know this. I want you to know this. First generation student. You are so capable. You're worthy. You're deserving of anything. Of anything. High achieving students, valedictorians who are used to being perfect. Listen, the only way to be perfect is to be imperfect. I am so deeply flawed and imperfect. And the reason I have reached so many people in the past 4 years is because I have fully embraced that I will never be the best at everything. And I will always make mistakes. And I am not afraid to make them. I embrace them. I celebrate them. And for parents, you're doing the best you can. It's such a hard challenge for all of us. We all want to be the best. The teachers, you're never going to be able to teach everyone the way you want. The secret is to offer, you offer without requiring anything in return. You align with the things that are important to you, with your light. Be wildly curious and take risk after risk after risk. And surround yourself with people who are going to lift you, love you, support you, and guide you. And I am so grateful to be one of those people in your corner.